I'm Tim Malloy with the Civic Association, and this is Palm Beach TV.
The COVID numbers continue to rise in Palm Beach. The question is why? The answer is disturbing. When will Palm Beach have the vaccine? We'll talk to the man who will be in charge. Local jobs lost, families going hungry. This is your moment to put food on their tables. We'll help you do it.
With 18 new cases in the town of Palm Beach just in the last week, the town of Palm Beach is now running ahead of Palm Beach County as far as infection rate, and that is extremely disturbing. The dark fears of local health experts seem now to be coming to fruition. Those concerns were spurred by a cluster of cases reported in the last several weeks, mainly because of large gatherings. Kirk Bluen, the town manager, recommending now residents report those gatherings to Palm Beach Police. They will show up, and while no laws may have been broken, police can issue advisories and warnings. A jump in cases is seen as an ominous precursor for what may be coming over Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's as the town's population surges, maybe even doubles. The Civic Association is urging residents and visitors to wear masks, to stay socially distant, and again to avoid large groups of people, if not for their own protection, for that of others. When will the vaccine be available for Palm Beachers, and how many of us on the island will be actually willing to get it? With distribution points being set up all over the country, the big question in our town is where and when. Here's Wendy Rutledge with that.
Tim, there are concrete, very solid plans already in place for the island of Palm Beach to become a point of distribution for the COVID-19 vaccine, headed up by Palm Beach Fire Rescue.
Division Chief Sean Baker has been in touch with folks up at the state, and they indicated to him to be prepared for possibly as early as next Sunday for our first responder community. And so we're ready for that. But beyond that, we're also ready to vaccinate our community. We are registered as what's called a closed pod or closed point of distribution. This is part of the state's vaccination plan, these points of distribution. These are groups that are willing to take some of the load off of the state and vaccinate their communities so that the state doesn't have to. And we anticipate, based on what we heard on a call last week from the State Division of Emergency Management, that we may be able to get to our phase 2 65 years of age and older, or people with comorbidities that make it very dangerous for them to have COVID, for that group to begin getting vaccines somewhere near the end of January, beginning of February, or mid-February. We'll have a site set up in the south end, a site set up in the north end. We'll have an appointment system so we can keep the people socially distanced during the vaccine process. You're required to monitor people who get these vaccines for either 15 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on some questions they answer. So we'll have a process where we'll be able to keep them in a safe place and monitor them right after the vaccine, so we assure that they're not having a reaction to that vaccine. And we'll also create a follow-up system where after we've given that vaccine, we'll follow up with them to check on them and make sure they're okay. But we believe that this vaccine is very safe. We will set up an appointment process so that when you get your first vaccine, you'll have a pre-scheduled appointment for your second vaccine, and we'll even set up a reminder system to remind you to be there for your second vaccine. We are in the final lap. This vaccine is coming very soon. We urge people to just continue to practice social distancing, good hygiene practices, wear your face mask. You can do this. You can get through this next month and a half or so. The vaccine is here. The vaccine is very effective at 90 to 95% effective. We know that it's going to work, and we know that it's going to make a difference, and we believe it's going to make a difference very quickly.
If you have lived in a town through the summer and through the COVID crisis to this point, you certainly have a new appreciation for the work done by our fire rescue and police personnel.
It's a hands-on job. It's tough on them, long hours, and the constant risk of contracting the virus. It's tough on their kids, their wives, and husbands as well. So it was an inspiring sight over the weekend to see a pile of gifts arrayed for the children of our first responders, the benefactors, local residents, partnering with the Palm Beach Police and Fire Foundation, improvising when an annual holiday event was canceled because of the virus.
I think they're having a tough time. I think they're confused. Their school is confused, and their schooling, if you will. One day they're going to school, another day they're not. This is something that is normal, something that they understand. Hey, they're getting a gift card, they're getting a present.
Yeah.
All precautions were taken.
I'm positively negative. You're positive, but you're negative.
The Palm Beach Police and Fire Foundation, which played a crucial role in getting thousands of masks to Palm Beachers, moved their annual party out of the rec center to a safer place across from St. Edward's Church.
So this was the alternative because it's Christmas and we want to have kids enjoy Christmas. That's what it's all about.
More than 100 kids of our first responders received these gifts, and the other benefactors are Mark and Janet Levy. God forbid you ever have to call 911 because of an emergency, but if you do, there's something very important locally here you need to know about so you can be prepared. Here's Wendy.
Tim, it's as simple as downloading this form. It is a file of life medical history form created by the Palm Beach Civic Association's Healthcare Committee, designed to assist paramedics and keep us all safe.
When I came down here, and I happen to live alone, as many of us do in Palm Beach, I realized that I didn't have a way for emergency health responders to know who I was, to know who to call if I should be in an accident of some kind.
So Lynn created her own homemade medical history form she's been carrying around for years. Then she went big. Lynn brought her idea to fellow members of the Palm Beach Civic Association Healthcare Committee, and they ran with it and created the downloadable File of Life medical history form, available now on our website.
What this information has on it is it has your name, your emergency medical contacts, your emergency family contacts, your medical insurance, medical data, and the top question, which none of us probably have yet had, well, have you had COVID? Yes, no. Do you have diabetes? What are your allergies? And under vaccines, have you had the COVID vaccine, flu, pneumonia, shingles, and so on? What are your medications? What are the dosages? What are your recent hospitals? Do you have a stent? Do you have any implants? So it's right there. It is on your person when you stumble or fall or are knocked unconscious. It's in your glove compartment. So when our emergency medical team gets you, they can most efficiently, quickly deliver the medical care they need to you on the spot and get you and communicate with the emergency rooms in the hospitals. Print out as many copies as you need to keep it on you in your glove compartment, by your bedside table, by your meds, because it's basically your passport to great health care. It's the thing you should not leave home without.
Here's how simple it is to access File of Life. First, log on to palmbeachcivic.org. On the homepage, click on Committees. Scroll down to Healthcare Committee and click Learn More. Scroll down to Resources, and there you will find the downloadable File of Life PDF. Click the blue box, and the fillable File of Life form opens up. Here, you can fill out the entire form by typing in your responses, or simply print the form and fill in the blanks by hand. If you choose to type in your responses, then you need to save the completed form. Just right-click on your mouse and you will see the Save As option. Click which folder into which you would like to save the form, which typically would be your Documents folder. Then rename it if you like. Now you have a form that you can print with all your relevant medical information, and you have saved it. So once you do get that COVID-19 vaccine or any other change you would like to make, you can easily update your own personalized File of Life medical history form.
Civic Association is again partnering with the food bank to jumpstart a campaign that will directly impact people who are in despair, who have food insecurity, and are having a very troubling holiday season.
We call it Nourishing Our Neighbors in Need. It's modeled after the Protect Our Produce initiative that took food that farmers, due to the crisis, may never have gotten to the market to families in need. We're asking members of the Civic Association to contribute to the effort, as they did in a big way back in March. Food insecurity is real. You have only to look at lines of cars waiting for food handouts all over the country.
If you'd like to help out, and we hope you will, contact us by going to palmbeachcivic.org, or you can call 561-725-4002. Okay, so we're heading into the biggest holiday season of the year at a time when the COVID virus is still rampaging in a lot of places and not in the least way under control here in Palm Beach. So again, forgive us, but this is the case. We're going to urge you to wear your mask everywhere you go, to avoid large crowds, to keep social distance. We are rounding a corner now. For sure now, the vaccine is on its way, but it won't be a couple of months before we can get it, so we really have to be careful. So we wish you the best of the holidays, and we'll talk to you soon.